What's up, everybody? It's our Win It Minute for the day, and today I'm so fired up. I hope that you are having an awesome day despite everything that's going on around us. And I got a great quote that's going to help put things in perspective. And I want to start off with that quote that says, "It isn't the mountain ahead to climb that wears you out, it's the pebble in your shoe." What you got to realize that sometimes we're so focused on the little things in life, the little slights or the little problems that we view are big problems, when we have to look at the big picture ahead of us and the opportunities ahead of us. And sometimes changing your perspective can make all the difference. You know, when times get tough, someone reminded me that it's time to zoom out. No, I'm not talking about Zoom meetings. I'm talking about zoom out. You know, if you're focused on all the problems that you have and every single thing that you have going on, if you look at it, if you just zoom out and back up and look at it from a lifelong perspective, you know, when you're 80 or 90 years old and you look back on this time, will it have been the hardest time of your life or the worst thing that you experienced? Is this problem ahead of you something that 30 years from now, 5 years from now, we look back and be like, wow, that wasn't that big of a problem compared to what I've got on my plate now or how I overcame it? You know, or even just look at it from a broader perspective. If you're on the moon and you're looking down at Earth, are you gonna look at one person's problem and be like, wow, they've got it great, or they've got it bad? They've got a roof over their head, they've got family around them, they've got their health, hopefully you've got it right now. You know, all those things you have to keep in perspective. And I also realize that it's the little things. You know, I realize this just with my kids, making them meals. You know, every time we open the fridge, we have a fridge full of food. Yes, even during this crisis, we have food all over, but they look at it, there's nothing in there I want to eat. There's nothing good. We don't want that. We don't want this. And they focus on the one or two things that we don't have instead of seeing an entirely huge fridge full of food that's available for them to eat. You can't focus on the one thing that you don't have when you have 300 unbelievable blessings in front of you. And you also got to realize that what you do can impact yourself, the words that you use, and those around you. You know, small words directly or indirectly can impact yourself and others around you. I was on this great conference call this morning, and one of the guys was talking about a story how he, 30 years ago, he didn't even realize somebody's other words to him changed the whole trajectory of his life. He was a young kid and he didn't have a father at home, and he was saying that he didn't have any responsibility, and he grew up in poverty. But he was out front one morning working around the front yard. He was cutting the lawn, and he was like 16 years old, and he didn't have anybody to show him the way. He was kind of lost in life, and this little kid came up to him and said, "Are you a man or a little boy like me? My dad says that you're a man because you do all the work around the house." And he said he never thought of it that way, and that completely changed the trajectory of his life. And it was the indirect words from another man who was saying to his child, and his child just randomly said it to that kid, and it changed his entire life. What you got to realize that what you do right now can have an impact not only on your mind, what you're thinking, but on those around you. What you say, if you give an encouraging word, it can go a long way for others, for the children that you're around in your house, co-workers that are going through a hard time. If you just give them some encouraging words, or even if we're at the grocery store now, when you interact with other human beings, you can either lift them up or do nothing. And you never know what someone might need as an encouraging word, and you never realize how far reaching that one encouraging word can go. So you got to realize that everything you do, it's all about perspective, and that you can change that with some encouraging words and in your own head by shifting that perspective to focus on the unbelievable things that we have in our life instead of focusing on the one or two things that we don't. And that's the best way for you to win the day.